There's a look at the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera over Lincoln City. Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Well, live orchids are a lovely addition to any home, but they certainly can be temperamental. So here with tips on how to keep your orchid alive and thriving, we welcome Master Gardener Janis McBride. Hello, Janis.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Well, I know a lot of us have been in this boat where we get this lovely orchid as a gift, or we buy one at the store, and it is so beautiful, and we want it to stay this way. But let's go to the other end of the counter, because reality sets in, and after a few weeks, this is what your orchid might look like, and that is just so sad.
It is.
So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
So let's go back to the basics.
Yeah.
You get your orchid home, you want it to stay like this.
You do want it to stay like this. It won't stay like this no matter what. The blooms will eventually fall off.
Yes.
So, but you can get it to come back to this. Orchids will live 50 plus years.
No.
Seriously, right? I know no one thinks that. So you have to think about this. What is an orchid out in the environment? They just hang on trees, right? So they're not in a pot.
Right.
So you want to loosen that up. So the first thing you want to do with your orchid is actually repot it. I've actually gotten orchids as gifts, and then I repot it with the flowers still on it. Because
so right away?
I can do it right away, yeah. If you're not that brave, you can wait until they die back. You cut off the spike.
Okay.
And then you go from there. And you decide which roots you want to cut off. And you're gonna, so I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do.
Please do,
basically.
Yes, I'd love it.
So let's say a year has gone by and you now have this.
Okay, so this would be normal, the green leaves without the flowers.
Well, they are, except they're not. See how firm these are?
Oh, you're right.
Right?
Yes.
And see, these are real floppy.
Yes.
So that means it's not really getting enough water. But that doesn't mean water it. That's the worst thing you can do, because then your roots are not going to get any air. And that's what they like in the wild, right? So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to literally pull it out of here.
Okay.
Like this. Let me take my water over here.
I'll hold this out.
And you're going to get like a big surprise, right? Okay. So this is what this poor guy's been living in. Just this mass of shipping material. So that's what that is. In other words, these guys come from like Taiwan on ships, and they have to be stable on the boat.
Yes.
So they ship them in this.
But they're not meant to live in this.
They're not meant to live in that at all.
I don't think most people know this.
They don't know that. So that's why this plant is now putting out new roots saying, please help me, right? Exactly.
It's a cry for help.
So what we do from here, I've already taken one of these orchids that was donated, and I've clipped off the roots that are no longer functional.
And these are the actual live roots?
These are live roots.
Oh my.
Yeah. Now people don't like the roots to show. They like this where you don't see the air roots. But air roots are actually normal. So as you can see, this person actually thought this was going to flower, and so they hook it to these little, they're not going to flower, it's a root. Yeah. So you go like this, and now this is the outer pot. You need to be able to water this eventually. So this pot doesn't have drainage.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can buy a orchid pot. Not what I recommend. What I recommend is get your very favorite gorgeous pot that you picked up for $1 at an estate sale, right? Or something like that.
I have some of those.
And then you're just going to fit a container that's going to go inside.
Oh,
and
look how perfect that is.
This is left from, Thai food, right? And
yes.
And then I take this nail and I poke holes in it.
So not just at the bottom. I see them all over.
Bottom, sides, as much as you can.
Is this just orchids or all plants?
No, just orchids.
Just orchids.
Just orchids, that's right. So now you take this guy, and I'm gonna get my orchid bark. So this is not soil. Whatever you do, don't use soil. This is like,
literal
bark chips that you would put out on your yard.
Yes.
Yeah, but these are specific to orchids. And so you literally take, and you're gonna fill this up with these little bark chips, just like that, lots and lots of them. And then when you water, you're gonna remove it from that pot and over your sink, and you're gonna be able to let the water flow through. You feel this chip? It's kind of moist.
Oh, it is,
right?
yeah.
That's all it needs. That's all it needs.
So if you were to do that and water it and it sits in the water, the roots will just rot.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the worst thing you can do. Exactly. So this guy is ready to go. Look at that. beautiful.
Oh, and it's so easy.
It is. I think it is.
Yes.
So you can then water this. Where's my bowl? Here's my bowl.
Yes.
Okay. And you can just take this out. I water maybe every 2 weeks, not really
so not
more
that
than
often.
that.
And is it like
vacation.
soil where you put your finger in, or is it just a timing thing?
You can check it. It's all about your home environment. If you have a drier home, you run your heater all the time, you're going to probably be more often. So you just pour it through there.
And look at that.
It just comes through.
And how many times would you do that through? Just 1 or 2 times?
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I
good.
actually just hold it under my faucet, and then when it's done dripping.
Is it the
like
type
that.
of thing where you don't want the water to touch the foliage, or does that
do
not matter?
That's correct.
You
do
don't.
not.
Okay.
Especially inside this little crown here, because that's going to rot.
Yes.
So I'll take a paper towel when I'm done and kind of, make sure it's dry.
Yes. And then what about lighting conditions? I know that can affect a plant so
It is.
much.
And here in, of course, Pacific Northwest, we don't have the best lighting. But you'd never want direct sun. It'll burn the leaves right off.
Okay.
So you have to have well lit, but not direct sun. So I keep mine in a north-facing window. And this is what I get every year.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So every
It's worth
April,
a little extra effort.
April, these pop out, and these blooms will last sometimes 5 months. Seriously, I know. So it doesn't have to be this way, right? You can.
Oh, now you've inspired me. I'm going to give orchids another try.
And every time I give this class, people say, I'm going to go buy orchids. I go, no, wait.
Yes.
There's plenty of orchids around that you can pick up from your friends and revive
Bring
them.
them back to life.
For sure.
Excellent. Janice,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I seriously have learned a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Great.
All right, and I'm sure you've learned a lot too. We'll have all the information on our website at katu.com. And we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.